Well, a pain clinic is getting new attention in North Knoxville. A couple of neighborhood associations are asking questions about it tonight.
And East Tennessee College is encouraging its students and staff to adopt a soldier for Veterans Day. And
a cancer diagnosis can certainly bring a person down. But tonight, we'll talk to one patient using the experience to send her to new heights.
10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV, Channel 10, Knoxville. The news starts now.
If they're a legitimate pain clinic and they're doing nothing wrong, they should have nothing to worry about.
A pain clinic in North Knoxville gets lots of new attention from concerned neighbors. Good evening, I'm Robin Wilhoit.
And I'm John Becker. 10 News has received several emails this week from people concerned about a busy pain clinic in North Knoxville. Police say they too have seen an upswing in calls. The clinic is called Advanced Pain Therapeutics. It's on Woodland Avenue, just across the street from St. Mary's Hospital.
10 News reporter Jim Matheny joins us now. Jim, this pain clinic has actually been at that location for a little while now.
Yeah, a lot of folks said, hey, there's a new pain clinic on Woodland, but that clinic has actually been there for 3 years. Still, a couple of neighborhood associations say they're keeping a closer watch on this business in their backyard.
A brand new sign in front of Advanced Pain Therapeutics catches the eye of drivers on Woodland Avenue, and it's also caught the attention of neighbors who have also noticed the cars with out-of-state tags and the people sleeping in vehicles.
Well, just in the last couple of days, I've been receiving emails. There was this pain management clinic that borders our neighborhood and historic Old North neighborhood. And we're concerned because we need no more pill mills.
Dr. Alan Foster opened the clinic several years ago. He's currently serving 1 year in a federal prison for fraudulently billing Medicare and TennCare. Foster's lawyer, Norman McKellar, told us the clinic went through intense government scrutiny during that fraud investigation, and it found no wrongdoing on the medical side of the business. Foster's wife runs the clinic now. She would not talk to us on camera, but in a phone conversation said the clinic does things the right way. They're fully licensed, and they've been at that location for 3 years without any problems. We checked police records, and since January 2009, there were only a couple of arrests related to prescription drugs, and in both of those cases, it was the clinic that called police to report patients who had fake prescriptions. Neighbors say they will work with KPD to keep the clinic on the up and up and make sure the sign is the only thing that is changing on Woodland Avenue.
You know, if it's a legitimate business, we'll find out that it's a legitimate business and we'll be all for them. And we're going to fight like crazy to keep any adverse things out of our neighborhood that we possibly can.
Now, after that conviction, Dr. Alan Foster lost his medical license. Well, Foster's wife does not have a medical license, but their lawyer said she's just running the business while the other doctors there provide the actual medical care. Robin and John, send it back to you.
Jim, thanks for your reporting.
Well, the Knoxville Utilities Board is under fire tonight after state officials placed blame and a fine on the utility for a deadly West Knox County house explosion. 18-year-old Nick Kresge was killed in that explosion. His parents were hurt. It happened on December 9, 2009 in the Whittington Creek subdivision. Today, nearly 2 years later, the Tennessee Regulatory Authority released its final report. The focus was on the connectors that attached the residential line to the main line, known as bolt-on saddle service tees. The TRA used KUB's own data to show a history of problems with these connectors, concluding that the utility should have acted earlier to replace them. The proposed fine is $250,000. KUB has now replaced all of those fittings throughout its system, and coming up tonight on the Night Beat, you'll hear from another local utility that still uses similar connectors. At
this hour, the Cocke County School Board is set to discuss new sexual misconduct allegations involving a suspended Cosby High School football coach. The director of schools wants to fire Tyler Shelton for sexual misconduct allegations that date back at least 5 years. In September, the school school board agreed to move forward with termination last week. More current and former students as well as fellow teachers accused Shelton of inappropriate behavior. Tonight, the school board will discuss the allegations and determine how they will impact the investigation. Shelton is currently on unpaid leave. He has said he will appeal his termination. That hearing is set for next month. A former Knox County's probation officer is accused of accepting money or gifts in exchange for favorable treatment of the offenders he was watching. Officers arrested 44-year-old Alex Ragland today after a grand jury indicted him last month on 1 count of bribery and 1 count of official misconduct. The charges are the result of a 5-month investigation conducted by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. They started looking into that case in May at the request of the District Attorney General's office.
Knox County deputies have arrested a 4th teenager in connection with locker room thefts at Powell High School. Those thefts happened during last Friday's playoff game when the school hosted Anderson County. When the visiting players returned to the locker room after the game, they found some of their personal items missing. Deputies arrested 3 Powell High School students yesterday on felony theft charges. They arrested a 4th person this morning. Investigators say they recovered some of the stolen property, which included items like iPods, cell phones, and cash.
A cancer diagnosis is enough to drag a person into the depths of depression, but for an Oak Ridge woman, it only lifted her up.
We first met Missy Pointer this past summer as she was wrapping up her treatment. Well, since then, she's experienced things most of us could only dream of doing. That's tonight's Buddy Check 10 report. Missy Pointer overcame emotional mountains this past year. While weathering a divorce, she battled breast cancer and endured chemotherapy and radiation.
There was a point where I thought I was going to shut down and cry and you know, spend the rest of my days in bed, but I chose to live and live it to the fullest.
Her climb back prepared her for the real thing, a mountain in the Rockies.
I went to Colorado, never been, and it was just an amazing experience.
Missy heard about the First Descents program from a friend and fellow cancer survivor. It's a climbing expedition where young adults living with cancer scale cliffs.
I didn't think about cancer at all. A week without a watch, a week without anything. You just go and have fun, and you're with people who have had cancer, so they understand a little bit better what you're going through, what you've been through.
Like her journey with cancer, this first-time climber rose above the fear.
I started up the rock and I was like, what have you gotten yourself into? Because I didn't, the first step was always the hardest, but once you got up there it was amazing. And then on our last day we rappelled 250 feet.
Each climber leaves with a sense of accomplishment and a nickname.
Cougar.
By the time Missy, a.k.a. Cougar, got back to East Tennessee, she was primed for another physical challenge, the Komen Race for the Cure. It was her 4th 5K since her diagnosis.
It was my best race so far. It was amazing to hear my name being called out as a finisher and, have everybody hug me and high-five me. And I had so many people there supporting me also. Once you find out you have cancer, you look at new things and new ways to exhilarate, to do different things that empower you, that help you overcome.
Missy says maybe she had something to prove to herself, that she can run life's races, climb the toughest mountains, and even beat cancer. Now, Missy says her next challenge will likely be running a half marathon. Knowing her, she will do it. Now, we want to remind you of our Buddy Check 10 program. It's as simple as finding a buddy and reminding each other to do breast self-exams on the 10th of each month. You can call 632-5200 for your free Buddy Check 10 packet or visit our website at WVIR.com.
Some East Tennessee students are reaching out to current servicemen and women in honor of Veterans Day. For the next 2 days, Maryville College is hosting an Adopt a Soldier letter writing campaign. Students and staff are encouraged to write a letter of thanks to a soldier. 3 local elementary schools, Alcoa, John Sevier, and Fort Craig, also are taking part in that campaign. The effort is sponsored by the college's newest student organization, Maryville College for Our Military and Their Families.
It brings us together under something that we can unify and support, because we are proud of our soldiers. We are proud of everything that they uphold, because without them we wouldn't have this right here. Past, future, and present soldiers have given us all of that plus some.
The student group is also hosting a donation drive throughout the month to gather care package items that will be sent overseas along with the letters. People across the country will honor service members past and present tomorrow on Veterans Day. And we'd like to remind you about the annual Knoxville Veterans Day Parade. It does step off at 11 tomorrow morning in downtown Knoxville. We will carry it live on 10 News 2 and also on our website, WBIR.com.
A new sports store is giving back to the community as part of its grand opening. Academy Sports and Outdoors held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon. Afterwards, the West Knoxville store gave 30 kids from the Boys and Girls Club of the Tennessee Valley a private shopping spree. Each child was given a $100 gift card to spend however they wished inside the store. Academy Sports and Outdoors opens to the public tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Each week, we show you a boy or girl who needs a mentor.
And this week's Live a Little is a history buff. Aaron Donovan introduces us to Lance.
I think it would be fun to have a big brother to be with, and I would like them to be nice and courteous.
Just like Lance. A perfect day for Lance and the big brother he's looking for would be a busy one.
I would maybe want to go to a movie, go do lots of fun things, go out and go to different places and have fun.
This future military man loves history.
I like history because I think it's just really good to know, and it's really fun to really know all those things and learn them, and so you actually get to know what happened instead of like if someone asks you a big question about it, you don't stand there and wonder and say, I have no idea.
So send all your big questions his way.
1940s, World War II, I just really focus on World War II. I really like it.
And not only the history, but the music as well.
I like 1940s music. I think it's really cool. I like some songs from today. I just think 1940s music is pretty cool.
Just don't ask him to dance.
No, I do not dance publicly. I never really danced non-public either.
So if you like history and food like
steak and pizza, steak and pizza, and also burritos and tacos.
Maybe you and Lance can live a little. Aaron Donovan, 10 News.
Betty's a great dancer, public or non-public.
I bet you're right.
You can learn more about being a big brother or a big sister at WBIR.com.
We'll be right back.
Straight from the heart of East Tennessee, this is 10 News at 6.
All right, you may want to go ahead and pull out the thermals because there is that possibility.
That's serious.
Possibility.
It's a thermal night.
Exactly. That it could be one of the coldest nights, if not the coldest night so far this season.
Yeah, exactly. 31 is the coldest Knoxville's seen so far. I'm going 30 tonight. Some outlying areas could be in the upper 20s. All right, hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, folks. Here's a check of the latest satellite radar composite. We are seeing some clouds, even a few sprinkles trying to move right there through southeast Kentucky, southwest Virginia. There could even be a few snowflakes, flurries across the highest terrain in Virginia. Early on tonight, this is associated with an upper trough that will move on through. Once these clouds across the northern half of East Tennessee move through late tonight, cold air will continue to be deposited across the region. Almanac page for Knoxville today, 54 the high, 45 the low, 63 the average high, so well below that for the high today. It's going to stay on the chilly side for another 24 hours or so, and then we'll start to see that warm up into the weekend. Right now, 49 degrees, humidity 38%, dew point 24. Both of these values much lower. It's much drier today. So we had some scattered showers, much cooler, breezy winds today, and again, that dry air as well. Beautiful bright moon. Matter of fact, it's full. It was full this afternoon. Will be full and bright tonight as well. 50 in Oak Ridge, 46 La Follette and Morristown and Dandridge, 46 as well in Gatlinburg, 44 Asheville, North Carolina, Crossville 43 and Chattanooga at 50 degrees. Nashville 47. Look at Indianapolis, 36 degrees. with some mixed rain and snow there. Matter of fact, it looks like on radar some of the rain is changing to some snow showers, albeit light, across south central Indiana. Cool, dry weather will continue to slide on in tonight into our Friday. Of course, tomorrow, Veterans Day. The parade, you can see it, matter of fact, on 10 News 2 and streaming live on WBIR.com. That parade in downtown Knoxville starts at 11 a.m. If you're going out to it, dress warmly. It looks to be very cool, but a beautiful Veterans Day coming up. More on that in just a moment. You see the chilly air. Chicago, International Falls down to Cincinnati. 58 meanwhile in Denver as high pressure continues to move out of the Rockies into the Plain States. All right, here's a look at our Friday forecast. Sunny and cool, a beautiful day tomorrow. Cold again tomorrow night as we'll likely drop down to just below freezing. And then by Saturday and Sunday, we do see some high clouds. These are basically a sign of warming. So we're going to see that warming trend through the weekend, and it looks pretty nice. Once again, bright full moon tonight. There's your forecast, 30 degrees, a cold night, and early in the morning, the rest of your Friday, 52, sunny skies. Another nice but cool day. Warming through the 60s for the weekend. Looks pretty good for Buddy's race at 3 o'clock, and then mild with some showers early next week.
Todd, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Steve joins us to paint more of the playoff picture.
Yeah, it should be a big night tomorrow. TSSAA football playoffs resume with second-round games. For Austin East, the road through the playoffs looks eerily similar to last year's playoff run. Roadrunners won on the road at West Green in the first round last season before losing to Elizabethton by 1 point. Well, this year, Austin East has already taken down West Green again and is preparing for a rematch with the Fighting Cyclones.
We want redemption against Elizabethton. We felt like we won that game last year. Just the ball fell away a couple of times here and there, but we're a better team now. I think we're more disciplined than we were last year, and I think we're up for it. Some of the kids, especially our seniors and juniors, this would be their third time playing Elizabethton, and they've stopped us 2 times in a row. And our kids, they're up for it. They're ready. They want to redeem themselves. And actually, they want to continue our goal that we're trying to, that's win the state championship.
Well, over in Lenore City, the Panthers are riding high after upsetting defending state champion Columbia last week. Lenore City snapped the Lions' 23-game home win streak with a 34-30 defeat in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, we had played in pretty tough regions, so I don't think our record was any indication of how good we can play. We've had some ups and downs in the games, but we feel good about ourselves. We know that it's going to get harder each and every week, though.
When the Tennessee Vols take the field Saturday against Arkansas, there will be footballs in the air. The Razorbacks base their attack on the passing game, and they're very good at it, as statistics point out. What gets a little lost in all the aerial show is how good they are when they run the ball.
They're very good up front. They're well coached. The O-line is big and physical, heavy, and the running backs are very productive. So they're plenty capable running the ball. They're a good running team. It's a great offense. I mean, there's a reason they're scoring 39 a game and averaging how many yards they're getting. I mean,
Saturday will be an historic day for Carson Newman. Coach Ken Sparks one way or the other. If the Eagles can knock off playoff-bound Mars Hill, it would be Sparks' 300th career win. Just the 12th coach to win that many. But a loss would mean Sparks' first losing season as a head coach.
Great challenge, playing against a team that's number 2 in the region, the NCAA for playoffs, and a team that has really played well this year and got some great players.
Well, change seems to be the only constant in State College, Pennsylvania this week. Some are calling for the school to postpone or cancel this weekend's football game with Nebraska. Students took to the streets after the announcement of Joe Paterno's firing and reportedly overturned a TV news van. The school, meanwhile, named an interim athletic director and elevated defensive coordinator Tom Bradley to interim head coach.
I take this job with very mixed emotions due to the situation. I've been asked by the university, by the Board of Trustees, by Rod Erickson to handle this, and I told him I would do it last night, and I will proceed in the manner that Penn State expects.
Well, there are a couple of reports today that Kyle Busch may not be driving as much the rest of the year as he had anticipated. NASCAR made Busch park after he intentionally wrecked Ron Hornaday in Friday's truck race, then made him sit out the Nationwide and Sprint Cup races in Texas. Well, the AP is reporting his Nationwide sponsor wants him replaced for the final race of the year in Homestead. Another report says Joe Gibbs Racing is in talks with M&M's, who sponsor his Sprint Cup ride. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, a member of our 10 News family opens up about a health scare.
Hillary Lake recently learned she had skin cancer on her scalp. I'll bring you her journey from diagnosis to surgery coming up tonight on the Night Beat, and hear from her about why she felt it was so important to share her story with you. That's tonight at 11 on 10 News. Well, like a lot of other people, Ken Schwal has fallen victim to the cough and cold season.
And rather than spend money at the drugstore, Ken spent the day seeking some good home remedies.
We thought we'd start with one of our oldest and most reliable friends. This was a bad mistake.
Old used sports sweat socks tied around the neck will cure literally anything from a raspy throat to a pull of a muscle in the neck. It works.
The best remedy I remember was reconstituted lemon juice and honey. Kind of heat it a little, gargle it. Chase it with some good moonshine.
I always mixed orange juice and Sprite together.
Jack Daniels. Take a big shot of Jack Daniels and go to bed and cover up with a lot of blankets.
It won't cure your cold, but you won't care. Well, I always like my grandma's chicken noodle soup. You know, it always made me feel better. A lot of goody powders.
Well, really?
Well, sometimes stand back.
You don't need anything special. Just live a good life, eat good food. What the heck? I'm 87. I'm still here. I plan on being here 13 years yet.
Oh, 13?
So 13 more.
Not 14.
No, 80, well, 101, okay.
I don't want to talk you into anything.
I've cut up some garlic, some raw garlic, and I mixed it with oil, and I mushed it up, and I stuck it in my ear, and it...
What?
My mom used to make me gargle salt water.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you tried the salt water on your kids?
No, I give them a natural honey elixir, cough syrup, throat stuff.
You don't put any Jack Daniels in it, do you?
No, but my great-grandma might have done that.
Ken Schwal, 10 News.
We recognize that face.
Coupon Katie.
Yes.
That's our time. Thanks for watching.
Good night.